everybody, how's it going? Lord Josh here once again. Welcome back to the throne room. Isn't it fantastic? They say that too much of a good thing is wonderful, and it certainly is in this case. Now I've got dressed up in my gold smoking jacket and red silky shirt. I don't smoke, but I do jacket, if you know what I mean. Welcome back. I want to talk about my characters today with you. Sethaniel Goldenbolt, Goldie, right? All that glitters is gold, honey. And Dangerfield. That's right, the great explorer, the adventurer. I want to talk about both of these characters, how they came into being, and kind of what they represent to me. So, first of all, I created Irons before Goldie. And I always was inspired by a lot of these kind of adventure, action, fantasy-based movies. Think of Indiana Jones. My favourite, personally, was The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I absolutely adore The Mummy, and my favourite character in that is the character he portrays, which is Rick O'Connell. And I was watching it one night, and I was thinking, I've never really seen anybody on YouTube have an original character with an original story, with monsters, with scenarios, with costumes, with sound effects and green screens, because I love green screen, as you could tell. I thought, why don't I create it and be the first YouTube character adventurer that does all these different things? And so for me, it always starts with two things. It starts with a name and it starts with a look. So you've got to get the name right, and you've got to get the look, the costume, the hair, the glasses, whatever. You've got to get it spot on. Otherwise, nothing else works. That's just my opinion. So I was thinking, right, what is a really sort of catchy, memorable, but at the same time unique name that you're not stealing from anybody else, but it has a strong enough identity to say, okay, I know that this person, when I hear this name, I know this person is an adventurer, or this person is a villain, or whatever. And I was thinking Dangerfield, obviously, because the series is all about living on the edge. It's about danger, it's about risk, it's about, we all want to go on an adventure, don't we? I do. I'd love to go out there and parachute out of helicopters into volcanoes, but I'm too much of a wuss to actually do all that for real. So I've got the green screen instead, and it works just fine. So I was thinking, okay, Dangerfield, and I was thinking red, because you got danger and red. Pop, a lot of attention, make the blood pressure rise a bit. Yes, I like red and I like danger. Then I thought, what's a really tough first name that's not actually a first name? And I was thinking Irons, because Irons is, I'm not even sure if Irons is a word or a name. I think it's a last name, but it's certainly not a first one. So I was thinking, okay, Irons Dangerfield. I've got the name, and I can see kind of something in my head, the sort of like the outline of the character, and I could see that sort of desert colored uniform, the helmet, and I wanted the red glasses to show that this was a guy, this was a man, a hero that lived very much on the edge of danger. So I got those red colored round spectacles, and I kind of went for that aristocratic English, maybe 18th, 19th century British explorer that would be in places like India and Egypt and whatnot. And that's what I was kind of going for. I wish I had the platypus to show you, but I don't. He's somewhere else. I don't know where. I've lost him at the moment. I've got to find him. Platypus is my gun. I've got too much shit in this house, believe me. But I love all of it. It means so much to me. So, with Dangerfield, I knew, this is why I created the character. I could go both ways. I could say, play it straight, right? Just play a straight up action hero, or be really silly and slapstick with it. Now, anyone who knows me in real life, or is close to me personally online, you know that I'm incredibly silly. I'm very slapstick. I do not take my reputation, my image, I take nothing seriously at all. And so I thought, no, I don't want to do a serious project. I want to do something crazy and wacky. And how this was born was actually a quite an inspiring story. I've been making all these very serious videos on magic, especially Taoist magic. And I was going into things with such depth that I was talking about, necromancy and divination and wealth magic and lots of weather magic. And I looked back on my channel one day and I thought, yeah, I'm talking about a lot of these subjects, but I'm kind of forgetting what the point of YouTube is, which it is to what? Broadcast yourself. So yeah, I'm talking about the history and the mythology and military strategy, but I'm not really talking about me and what I think and what I do on a day-to-day basis, or what's going on in my imagination. I'm kind of just reading out from these books, or I'm talking about historical figures, so I'm researching things, going to make sure everything is accurate and right. And I was sick of it. I said, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm proud of the work that I've done, I love it, but I want to break free and I want to go crazy. I want to just do something that's off the wall. I hate it when people put me in a bracket and they say, oh, Lord Josh, that's that weather magician. He's the occult YouTuber. This is not an occult channel. It's got a lot of occult videos, but it's not just a channel about magic. You've got fashion, poetry, military strategy, history. There's so much on this channel aside from just the magic. And I kind of wanted to break out of the typecast bracket that I was put in and said, no, you will not expect this. Wait till you see what's coming next. It will shock you, it will surprise you, hopefully will entertain you, and that was the point. I felt like I'd made too many educational videos, and yes, they had so much value if you wanted to learn about a specific Taoist ritual, but I don't think they were entertaining enough for someone like me who is naturally wacky, and I have to rein it in so much when I make those videos because my mind just works at 1,000 miles an hour. And I thought, you know what, sod it, forget it. That's an old English saying for fuck it, basically. I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to make sure that it's done right. So I got the green screen out, and I had no idea, this is the truth, how much I needed High Irons Dangerfield, how much I needed to do that project to get out of this rut, this bubble that I was stuck in for about 2 or 3 years of just doing more or less the same content. And I think it became very predictable, and I knew I wanted to do it, but whilst I was doing it, I got the bug for green screen so much, because I used to make green screen videos before I made magic videos, but I stopped doing those and got more deeper into the serious topics. And around this time I was really thinking, no, I've made a mistake, I should go back to this. And I never knew how right I was to return to those more comedic, slapstick, very creative and imaginative green screen projects. I remember putting on the costume for the first time, the boots, the gun and everything, looking in the mirror saying, I'm actually having a blast making a video, and I don't know if it's going to catch on, but I don't care. And that was the thought that I had, and I felt free. And as soon as I defined that thought in my mind, I don't care if this is a hit or if it's a failure. The bottom line is I'm having fun whilst I'm doing it, and I'm getting better as an editor. I'm getting better as a performer in front of the camera. I'm also pushing my own comfort zone, and I'm doing things that I've never done before. So all in all, for me, the personal experience behind that video, it was difficult because there was so much editing involved, but it pushed me, and I needed to get out of that comfort zone. So for me, Irons Dangerfield represents getting out of what I call all the time conformity. People were expecting me, okay, Lord Josh has made 50 Taoist magic videos, obviously he's going to make 50 more. And I said, sorry, not happening this time. You're going to get a kraken, you're going to get jumping out of a helicopter, you're going to get Lamont crashing into a volcano. That's what you're getting this week. My favorite, I mean, there's so many things in that video that I love. I mean, what are some of the sayings? Holy Jurassic shit, proto classic. So many, and I created all of them. They're all my own original sayings, and the mannerisms and the posh accent that he used, and just the way he would move and he would fight. He's definitely a hero, whereas I think Goldie is more of an anti-hero. The line is blurred with him quite a bit. My favorite scene from that is when we are in the ice cave. It took forever to make that scene, to make that area, and as I was in the ice cave, the Kraken, Ezekiel the Great, the pissed off Kraken, the ungrateful bastard that he is, he jumped out of the ground and he came out the wall in his tentacles, and I'm shooting him with platypus, and the original rounds of the gun aren't working, the bullets aren't working. So I switched to flame, kind of do a little bit of damage, but he hits me one of the tentacles, and I go down, and there is the captain. Right at the end, he comes in the tank. Hold on, I'm coming. I turn around, say, Captain, you're alive. And he shoots at the Kraken, and the Kraken retreats back into the ice wall. Is he dead? Is he not? You'll have to wait and see for the next episode. And we go out of the area then. And I adored that last scene so much. I'm so proud of that fight. I tell you, that fighting that Kraken was a true fight in the editing software, because it was so hard to do it. Keep the frame rate good, keep the resolution good, make sure that everything isn't glitching or clipping. There's a lot of work involved for those scenes where there's other characters on screen, on the actual screen with you, that move at the same time as you do, and you've got to react to those movements. But of course it's all CGI, so you've got to imagine it in your mind first before anything's even created. I love Iron's Dangerfield. I'm super proud of the work that I did on that. And if someone said to me, you can only show 2 videos, or you can only keep 2 videos from your channel when YouTube closes down, the 2 videos I'd keep: The Adventures of Iron's Dangerfield and Goldenbolt. I honestly would, and I'd show them to anybody. If they say, what does Lord Josh do, what's he all about, I'd say, well, this isn't necessarily an accurate representation of what I do, but nevertheless, here you go, check it out, because this is what I'm most proud of. So now let's talk about Goldie. Now, as you know, I'm not an explorer or an adventurer. I've never been on a legitimate adventure in my life, so playing Irons was quite different for me, because my personality isn't that type at all. But Goldie is just like an exaggerated version of myself. He loves money, he loves materialism, he loves fashion, he loves cars, he's kind of crazy and eccentric, he's over the top. So playing him was like playing me on steroids, basically, with a wig on. It's just me in a wig with lots more diamonds and fur. And I thought, you know what? Irons was my action hero. I've got to have someone who's like an anti-comedy hero, who's funny and slapstick, but at the same time there is an element of darkness to it, even though it's very colourful and glamorous. Because that's how I work. I love colour, I love glam, I love everything that sparkles and shines. One of my main inspirations was Liberace. When I was creating the character of Goldenbolt, I was thinking, okay, who could I make him a little bit like? Obviously a lot of myself is in there, a lot of me, and also quite a bit of Liberace is in there, that sort of, that charisma, just being able to know what to say in the moment, to show off, to be a peacock. Those are all things I naturally do in my life anyway. And I'm very proud to say, all of the costumes that I've ever wore for anything, I've never ever bought them for a project on YouTube or a picture on Facebook. I've always had them in my wardrobe, or I've always planned to buy them for my own personal use. So nothing that you've ever seen from me has just been, oh, I'll wear this for this one video and it never gets worn again. Everything I have, I do wear it on a semi-regular basis because it makes me feel great. That's what the whole point of the Weird and Wonderful Wardrobe series is that I have on here. That's all about empowering yourself through really outrageous, extravagant clothing. And I realize a lot of you won't be able to relate to that. But for me, the first time I put on a costume, the very first time, I was like, why is it taking me so long to discover this? It's bliss. So I remember putting on the outfit for Sethaniel Goldenbolt, and all the jewellery, the big giant fur coat. I almost passed out the first time I did it because you got the green screen lights on. And the green screen, there's 2 of them either side, and the tripod's in the middle with the camera. And the room itself is quite narrow, my green screen room. It's just basically a spare office bedroom area where I do edit all my videos and whatnot. And there's a rack of costumes on the side. And I was so hot that I thought, oh my god, I'm going to pass out. And I had to take breaks in between shooting that particular show because it was unbearable, the heat from the fur coat and the lights. And I wore the fur coat for most of the entire project. I love it. I think the one-liners in Goldenbolt are on a different level. I think in the beginning, when he's in his mansion and he's looking around. You see that gorgeous mansion. That's my taste. Everything you see in that video is what I like. So all that architecture and that Roman and Greek style, that's me. That's what I'm into. And there was this one clip where Goldie's talking about how rich he is. And he's got a shark. Oh, hang on, the computer's gone off. Here we go. It always does this. There we go, I'm back. I haven't disappeared yet. No teleportation or invisibility spell yet. But anyway, yeah, Goldie's talking about how rich he is, how much money he's got, how many women he's getting. And he turns to this Greek aquarium, and he's got a pet shark called Loverboy that eats poor people. And anybody that's close to me, I know that's kind of a risky joke, but anyone who knows me knows that that's kind of my sense of humor. It's not PC. There's nothing vile about it. It's not like I'm wishing ill on anybody, but that's just my kind of humor. And I think it was hilarious that so many people liked it. It was kind of a similar moment in Iron's Dangerfield. I was looking at some hieroglyphs on the wall, and there was these two elephants, and I swear the texture that I found on some stock footage website, the texture looked like two elephants mating. And in Iron's Dangerfield, the most memorable part for the fans, from what I've heard, is when I said, oh my god, it looks like there's two elephants shagging. But the way I delivered the line was incredibly dry, and I didn't let the audience know that it was a joke. But that's how you do it. I got that from Leslie Nielsen, one of my idols. But in Goldenbolt, when I was doing the scene in the shower, there's a particular scene where I'm looking down and I'm naked. Not completely naked, but for the show it looks like I am. And I'm looking down and I'm covered in soap and water, and I'm saying, oh, you've got such a big one, you're perfect in every way, you're a girl's best friend, you're hard like a rock. And then I pick up this diamond and I say, and you're going to make Goldie a very rich man. So people obviously thought I was talking about something else there. It's little things like that you just, it's like you're fishing to the viewer. You provoke them a little bit, you let their imagination connect the dots, and then you reveal to them, oh, that's what he was talking about. But most of the time people can't see it coming. So Goldie is obviously the playboy. He's the diamond dealer. He's got the world at his golden feet. He can have everything. Unlike Irons, who is young and he's starting in his career and he's getting to the point where he's becoming more successful, Goldie is already there. He's wildly successful. He's got everything. He's at the top of the pyramid. He is the 1%. So instead of him obtaining success and trying to reach that point, the whole series focuses on him enjoying being at the top as opposed to reaching the top. So that's how the two characters are different. One's trying to get there, one's already there. And Goldenbolt was all about what happens when you give the most arrogant, ridiculous, flamboyant guy the keys to the planet, keys to the world, keys to Las Vegas, and you just say do what the hell you want, and you throw in a little bit of surrealism. That's what Goldenbolt is. So colorful, so vivid, so very, very funny in my opinion, and people love it. It was a bigger hit in terms of views and ratings than what Dangerfield was. So I would say my favorite scene from that is the action-packed scene where Goldie gets on top of the car and he's got the golden cock and he sees that vision in his mind, and the big face, that big giant chin, that creature, that higher self that he has says to him, Goldie, use the golden cock quickly, Goldie. And he gets out the gun and he jumps on top of the gold Jaguar XJ and he's shooting at the police and he's shooting at the cars. What's cooler than a damn gold minigun called the Golden Cock? There's nothing cooler than that. You might be cool, but you're not that damn cool, okay? I've got you on that. So when people say to me, when it comes to these projects, what do you do on your channel? Well, I fight krakens, I jump out of helicopters, I explore ice caves, I kill zombies, I fire a golden minigun on top of a golden Jaguar in Las Vegas, I destroy police cars. It's all true because you can see it, and I've done it on camera as proof. And let me tell you, that for me, when people ask my creative advice, I always say, don't ask for advice, do what you feel is right. If you're having fun while you're doing it, don't take it too seriously. Then you know that it's going to be, no pun intended, gold. And that's my point. I would say with Goldie, he is so much closer to me in terms of how I am naturally, the flamboyant side of things, that playing him was a little easier than playing Dangerfield. But I love them both equally, and I say that with Goldenbolt 2, do you know what it's going to be called? Goldenbolt 2? No Country for Gold Men. That's right. Oh, there's going to be so many puns, so many gold puns. You're going to love it. The things I've got planned, the outfits, showmanship, right? How often do you watch a video, you look at someone and you think, this guy is freaking boring, he's drab, he's dull, want some showmanship up in here. That's what I give, that's what I love to do best. And I think the occult community takes themselves too seriously, so you've got me to liven things up. I'm camp, I'm over the top, but I think most people enjoy it because they know that it's that benevolent, benign flamboyance that is very attractive to a lot of people. It certainly is for me. One scene also from Goldenbolt that I really love is when he's in the car and he's being chauffeured around by Mr. Sugar Dumpling. That's the unseen chauffeur that I was going to play, by the way. I was going to get like a black suit with some diamonds on it and play the chauffeur, but I just couldn't figure out how I wanted to do it. I was going to shadow my face and make my voice really deep. Never got around to doing that, but maybe in episode 2 I will play the part of Mr. Sugar Dumpling, Goldenbolt's chauffeur. But there's that one particular scene where Goldie is at the back of the car and he's showing off all the diamonds and from that case, which is all from my personal collection, the rings and the watches, and he says things like, yeah, I got this one from a princess, I got a few things down all right, I went south of the equator. Definitely a lot more of a adult tones to that than there are with Dangerfield. I always say that Goldenbolt is like a romantic action adventure comedy because it's a love story, and there's so much about Goldie, you know, going out to meet the girl, and you got that woman on the phone, I miss you so much, could you come over real quick? I've got an itch only you could scratch. And of course Goldie responds, you'll have to keep scratching and keep thinking of me. Coming quickly isn't exactly my forte. And I tell you, I was cracking up. I wrote everything, that's all me. I was cracking up making that. And it made me fall in love with video making again. So stop taking yourself too seriously. Enjoy your imagination. Let yourself run wild. Who cares what anybody thinks? Get out there and do what you want to do. So I thought, you know, I'll talk about my characters and really what inspired me to make them. So thank you for watching this. I'm going to be doing a few more weird and wonderful wardrobe videos very soon. I've already got one that's currently in the editing software. That'll be up hopefully in a couple of days. I'm waiting on a smoking jacket, custom made smoking jacket from Germany, green and gold, that's got my initials on the pocket. LJA, baby. Take care, and I'll see you soon.